Hi, it's Desiree Lee with Blissful Heart, here to give you your weekly energy read for the week of July 12th to July 17th, 2019. This week has a full moon in Capricorn with a lunar eclipse on the 16th, which is a Tuesday. And we're definitely looking at a lot of emotional, compulsive behavior because we have Mercury in retrograde as well, which happened on the 7th of July. And there is definitely some power struggles. In terms of like the cards, because I've already pulled them and prepared them on the table for you, there's definitely this really beautiful transformation taking place in balancing duality. And I will get more into that as we get into the energy read. Before I get started, I just want to send a shout out to those of you that are giving me that $1 a month on my Patreon page, and you get that monthly twin flame timeline for that $1 a month, and you're helping me out. So if my readings help you out and you wish you could give back to me some way or somehow, I not only have a donation link in the description box below if you just want to do a one-time donation, or you know, you can give me that $1 a month and it helps me out, and then you're also getting something back, which I love to give back. So you can check that link out in the description box below as well. While I did not get my my weekly reading out last Friday, I am working on getting more consistent with every Friday as I'm hunkering down to commit, and I've made this calendar. There's definitely some really interesting shifts taking place for me because guess what? I'm on this journey with you, and I personally have been feeling very pulled into the physical in terms of getting more fit, more healthy, and you know, losing this weight that I call the love weight that we all gain when we move in with our significant other, whether it's a twin flame or anybody that we have our heart invested in. So both my twin and I are getting prepared to commit to a weekly or a daily practice and really count our calories and lose this weight that we gained, our love weight, I like to call it. So you know, that's been distracting me, but I'm thinking my Big Vibe Ship channel might be more about that as well, but we'll see. I'm just going to let it evolve as it evolves and see what happens with that. But I'm still going to maintain this channel, so make sure you hit the bell button to be clued into all of my releases every Friday. And I love you guys. Let's get started, shall we? So I'm going to just push these cards aside so we can get a good look at the Sacred Rebel deck. So I had pulled, asked Spirit, like, what is the overall energy of this week from the 12th to the 19th for the collective? And they gave me two cards. So we got 10, Releasing Allegiances. Look at how I love this deck, by the way. And sorry for the reflection, I am facing a window. And then we also have 42, the word wants to be written, which is a 5, yeah? Look at those, and they just are so, I just love this deck. This is, I think, my first Alana Fairchild deck, actually. So let's talk about this Releasing Allegiances, card 10. So what's coming up a lot for people is this idea of there being this power struggle where we're being confronted with letting go of all of that dead weight, all of the heavy energy that's no longer serving us. Now, while this is specific in terms of the guidebook on this card, that it's a person or a relationship, okay, I think this can be any kind of toxic habitual behavior that isn't serving you, right? So we're kind of looking, and yeah, so Spirit's showing me this other concept that's been coming up for me as well, in terms of change, okay? When we go through change, even if we have a very healthy practice in terms of our daily practice, how we take care of ourselves, or you know, if you're an entrepreneur and you're feeling very committed to one specific direction, sometimes we're like, Spirit, give me a sign. Like, what am I supposed to do? Why am I not getting profit from this? Or why am I not feeling inspired or motivated about this thing that I do, you know, that I've always done for whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus years? Like, why is it all of a sudden shifting? And it's like we're so focused at looking at that narrow space that we don't realize that there's another direction that we're being called into. And that's where your inspiration is. And it still most likely will be in alignment with what you currently are doing. Okay. Excuse me, and you're going to see a little repetition of this message, and the word wants to be written as well. But this is definitely more about letting go and practicing self-love, taking care of yourself, realizing what's important for your greatest good and highest joy right now, what's going to bring you the best results, okay? So just cutting those cords of any heavy weight so that you can be free to fly, yeah? So the word wants to be written is similar. It's kind of like an additional message to that. And it is about like going ahead and embracing whatever your truth is right now and letting yourself be that. This card specifically is talking about having a really difficult time in our childhood and carrying that burden of the shame or the guilt or the fears that we learned and lived through the greater part of our young adult life. And so it's saying like, it's time to like embrace those shames and to be like, yeah, so what if I, am a little overweight? So what if I really like to do psychic readings? So what if I like to, I don't know, hula hoop, whatever you might be feeling any shame or guilt about, like just to be like, this is who I am right now. And I know that I always will change, and I'm just going to embrace this. And so the word wants to be written is like this idea of expression, right? Expressing yourself through words or journaling or dancing or writing a book or, just getting out there and maybe, you're a big Instagram, I don't even remember the name for him, somebody that's very prominent on Instagram. Maybe that's you, and it's time for you to again, so this connects to this idea of shifting direction. It is hard when you kind of pigeonhole yourself into a certain niche, especially obviously as an entrepreneur, or if it's just like your business. And so when you're feeling that shift of tides of change, know that the people that love you will always love you. And if you change and it doesn't resonate with them, that's okay. You'll find new people. And quite possibly they're shifting with you and it will resonate with them. So, to be fearless and embrace that change and to really be vocal about who you are, who you want to be, and what you're excited about, or what you've been embarrassed about, but you no longer are, and just to say it out loud, yeah? Okay, so then we go into the first part of the week, the 12th and the 13th, and I pulled the oracle cards first this time. Normally I pull the tarot, but today we have 22, Dragonfly Spirit. Truth transcends illusion. And what's really cool is we're going to see this number 22 a few times in the spread today, which is a master number. It doesn't break down, and I see it as a double or times 2 of 11, which we all know is a very beautiful and powerful sign. So to me, I see this as a doubling up of our potential, doubling up of alignment, and I do see this connection of the duality energy, which you're going to hear more about as the reading continues. So this is so much about recognizing that you are always connected to spirit and to trust your intuition, and that even when you're feeling hopeless or you're feeling abandoned by spirit or by life, that you are always a part and connected to the infinite consciousness. And yes, Spirit's sharing with me, even in our darkness, even in our pain, that is something beautiful. And it's something to recognize, that when we're feeling sad or angry or not our best selves, we will be so hard on ourselves about, whatever the case may be, maybe you haven't been showing up like you wanted to. I mean, I've gone through a whole year of not showing up how I've wanted to for, my business of Blissful Heart. And in other aspects of my life as well, in terms of my physical fitness and stuff. But, it's we have to have those periods of, breaking down to break through. And, we live in a very dualistic world of both dark and light. And again, this whole message to me, the whole theme is about recognizing it and balancing it, right? And there's many ways that we will balance it. Again, I'm going to keep bringing it up, and then I know the final card is going to talk about it some more. So I will hold off the channeling for the end of the reading. And then from the Akashic Tarot, we got 7 of Roses, the journey. I just love this. So together, right, there's this idea of feeling disconnected, but knowing that the truth is that you're always in union, and that transcends any illusion that you may be, any spell of disconnect that you may have cast on yourself, right? And that we are in this space of a journey. Again, this idea of leaving the familiar and venturing into the unknown. And that, again, has also been a message that I've been sharing in my classes, is this like, you have to recognize that part of success is failure. And a lot of the times, I did an EFT tapping on this actually. A lot of the times we fear success of one goal because then we fear that we'll succeed but not do it well. That's one, that's the failure aspect. But another one is that we succeed and then we have to create another goal, because we know our human nature is to constantly strive and move forward. And so it feels really safe to stay in your comfort zone and to constantly be confronting certain goal that you just never accomplish infinitely throughout your life. You constantly have a goal that you want to accomplish and you never let yourself have it, whether it's making a certain amount of money, whether it's getting a degree or a certificate in something, that you'll do it, you just, when it's right, you'll do it when it's right. Like, maybe it's been right, but your subconscious mind is so attached to the fear of letting go of the familiar that you're not letting yourself open up to that change, okay? I hope that makes sense. So we are in this area of transcending the illusion of our fears, right? I'm seeing this gateway where we're really going to be able to see ourselves and our fears super clearly and get centered with ourselves and embrace the journey and be like, I'm going to free fall. I'm going for it, you know? So then we look at the middle part of the week, approximately the 14th and 16th, or 14th and 15th. I wrote down the 16th, and I got two of the animal spirit cards, or the spirit animal oracle. And the first one I got was card 15, which is a 6, cow spirit. The miracles are endless. I love cow spirit because it reminds me of the Hindu culture, where they really worship cows as sacred creatures. And they really are. I am not a vegetarian. I have been in the past, and I felt that it didn't work for my body. But you know, I do respect all life, and that that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to get into that right now, okay? But so we're looking at this idea of focusing on what feeds your soul, right? So again, you know, being that we are dualistic in nature and that we are both dark and light, that means that we are always an asshole or a bitch or a hater or somebody that overeats or drinks too much or, you know, parties too hard or stays out too late or, you know, whatever it is you overindulge in, watch too much Netflix, right? Or say hateful things to yourself or gossip about other people, right? Like, you are always that. You may not be fully acting on it at this point in time, but you have been in the past, and it is a part of your history as a soul in this life, right? But you are also all of the positive things. You're also that person that has helped other people, that has been generous with your time or your money, that has shared advice or wisdom, that has gotten up early to work out, that has, you know, gone to the grocery store and made healthy choices. Whatever, you know, those positive moments you've had in your life, you know, embracing change, like showing up for yourself. You are also that, okay? So ultimately, I always think of that Schrodinger's cat, like you're both, right? The cat is both alive and dead. You are both. So what are you focusing on? What are you believing in? What are you supporting? What are you feeding yourself, right? So not just food, what are you mentally feeding yourself? What are you emotionally engaging in? Are you listening to sad music all the time or watching sad movies about lost love? Or are you, you know, watching comedy reliefs or things that inspire you to improve your life, right? So this again is about like what we're inputting into ourselves, knowing that miracles are happening all the time. There's miracles happening right now while I'm recording, and right now while you're watching it, they're always happening. So believe in the miracle, right? The second animal oracle we got was card 20, dolphin spirit. This and that are true. right? So I was kind of channeling that when I was talking about the cow spirit. So I'm not going to repeat all those messages, but you know, we are both. We are both dark, we are light. We are, you know, juggling, you know, they are a mammal and they are a sea creature. Like, we are juggling this duality, this dualistic nature of who we are. And what I believe, you know, we are as light workers or starseeds, just spiritual conscious beings on this planet, like what we are learning is how to be both, right? And that's why, and how to balance them, right? That's why I feel like we do these swings. And it's also one of the things that it drives me so crazy in the spiritual community. It isn't healthy to be happy all of the time, and it isn't healthy to be sad all the time, right? But it is a challenge in this life to learn how to trust your intuition and to be sad when we're sad and to be happy when we're happy and to be honest about it with ourselves and most importantly, and also with others. But we're learning how to balance this ebb and this flow. You know, we are part of this rhythm of nature. We are part of this ebbing and flowing of dark and light. We are all of that. And I think it's one of the reasons why I struggle with commitment in my channel, because like when I am feeling dark, I just don't want to show up for you guys because I don't want to spread that out to you, you know, and I don't want to lie to you and show up and pretend to be happy either. So it's got to be this like balance, and that is what we're all learning. And I think that, you know, the more we can take away the negativity or the shame around being any of those lower vibrational things, like the more we can learn how to embrace it and love it and recognize it, it's all so beautiful. It's all part of the same thing. So then we look at the Akashic Tarot, and I love this. We got the Two of Forces, which is an air element, right? So it is a swords card, technically, mental energy. And this is, look at this beautiful willow, right? The willow tree is representing this idea of being flexible and fluid and flowy, but still incredibly grounded and strong and structured into the earth, right? So we are both fluid and firm, right? We are, you know, we flow, we're emotional, we're like water or air, we move with things, but we also know where home is, and we're that firm foundation, right? So this is definitely about like standing strong and where you're at. Again, it kind of comes back to this releasing allegiances energy of like embracing whatever you're going through and to love yourself anyway, you know, love those aspects of yourself. Come back to source, recognize that you are always connected to source and that you are on a journey and it never ends, right? It is consistent, constant. We're always changing, always growing. So then we look at the tail end of the week. And I mean, obviously, I always like to mention these are approximations of the week. You might be experiencing all of this, like you might have experienced the first part of the week 4 days ago, and you might be experiencing this middle part right now. Anyway, so we got butterfly spirit, card 11. So there's an 11, which I love because we have the 22 dragonfly spirit. Then we have the butterfly spirit coming in at the end of the week. Transformation is beautiful. Yes, right? So it's funny, a lot of these messages just repeat in different ways, right? But we are in the process of transformation. And, you know, I read something at one point, I don't remember where, but I thought it was really fascinating that when a butterfly is breaking out of its cocoon, there is actually tiny threads of blood in the cocoon. Like, it is a painful process, and it's a slow one, right? If we pull the butterfly out of the cocoon too soon, it will never fly. Its wings will never take full form, right? And so we are in the space of transformation. It is happening right now. And, you know, we want to celebrate where we're at and celebrate our journey, celebrate our dualistic nature, and recognize that you are never the same as you were, right? And I just love this. Like, you're always growing, right? We're always changing. I mean, I don't suppose that matters, but I'm going to switch those. All right, so then the Akashic Tarot card, here's that other 22, is add some. And I love this. Okay, I hope you guys can see the card clearly. I feel like when I push it in too tight, it gets blurry. So the angel spirit is communicating to you, right? And it is, add some actually has a few different meanings. One is, add some is strength, focus, and presence, right? So that reminds me of the willow energy. Like, we are grounded and we are focused. And the 42 is like also about being strong and confident and standing up for ourselves. So there was quite a few messages of strength and acceptance of who and where we are, and embracing who and where we are right now. And also add some is wishes coming true. So this is like the miracle energy of the dolphin spirit. The cow spirit was the miracles are endless. So it's like wishes are coming true. The miracles are happening. You are in this state of transformation. You are changing. It's all happening. Things that you've invested in, either, with money or time, are starting to reap the benefits now. Everything's coming around full circle. I really feel like this is like the closing of a circle. We're in a very big space of a completion, and I feel like it is multiple years. Like, this is a very big circle or large cycle in this life. And Spirit's saying that this cycle obviously is a cycle that repeats in every life. So, to put it in your calendar and mark this day, this is a very big turning point for you. And, while you may be feeling, I know a lot of people are experiencing a ton of emotional crying and pain. I feel really blessed because I'm not feeling emotional at all. And maybe it's because my ascendant is in Capricorn, I'm not sure, but I'm feeling pretty strong and pretty awesome. So thank you, angels, thank you, Spirit. I'm super grateful for that. And yeah, comment below how you're feeling. I love to know, it just kind of helps me get more in energy and in interpretation from the collective when you guys share. So I do appreciate your shares. So yeah, and then Spirit is always with you. So what was the other one that was talking about Spirit always being with us? Can't remember, but we did have another card saying that Spirit, I feel like it was a dragonfly spirit, but we're always connected to our intuition. We're always being supported by the infinite, even when we feel like it's not there for us, it is. And again, it's like that, about that tunnel vision, really broadening the picture. And then for our final closing card, final piece of advice, I said, Spirits, what's the last thing you want to leave everybody with for this reading? And we got another 22, Divine Masculine. And it says, the frequency of Divine Masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So I'm going to hold it back and see if that helps with the glare. And I actually wanted to pull the book out for this, so let me grab that. It comes out so quickly. Okay. So it says here, three-dimensional reality is based on the duality between opposites and their eternal movement toward union. Everything is created in pairs, male, female, matter, spirit, empty, full, dark, light, and so on. Without the tension caused by the magnetic push and pull of duals, there would be no movement, right? So we need that movement. Without movement, there would be no life as we know it. This is what I always try to stress to my people that are so altruistic. They're like, one day we'll be all love and light, all love and light. And I'm like, that's not happening in this lifetime. I love that idea. I think it's fantastic. But in terms of human nature and the laws of this planet, we need the dark and the light. We have the rise of the sun and the moon. We have the ebb and the flow of the waves in the ocean. We have life. We have death. We have male and female. we are not that kind of species, not at this point. We might, like, our spirit might come from a place that knows nothing but light and unity consciousness. And I do think that, like I said, if we balance, right, okay, this is what I was saying, we're learning. We learn to balance the dark and the light. That means embracing the dark and loving it anyway, right? And embracing the light. Then we will be that much closer to living in a world where everything still experiences duality, you know, on a nature, like cosmic scale, because like the saying, there would be no movement without that. It's still happening, yet we become so conscious and enlightened that we remain unfazed and we stay in a unity consciousness. Honestly, I don't know when that would be realistic in terms of the energetic balance of the world, of the universe, of our solar system. But you have to consider that, right? I do think that, you know, miracles can happen. I do think that, you know, we could potentially change the way that the rules are, but not in the next 50 years, I'll tell you that right now. So, you know, for those of you that are running from the shadows and trying to bury them or hide for them or say they don't exist and just be like, whatever, I'm love and light anyway. Oh my God, that person just broke my heart. That's okay, I'm love and light anyway. Oh my God, that person just lied to me. You know what? I forgive them because I'm love and I'm light anyway. That's not realistic. And I mean, it's like you can lie to whoever you want. You know, you can lie to your friends, you can lie to your partner, you know, but you should not be lying to yourself about your true feelings. You've got to embrace that part of you. It's part of how we do this whole transformational change. We can never, ever, ever expand our consciousness and grow outside of the cocoon to break free if we don't acknowledge the shit that we had to go through along the way, okay? So there's more to this. I want to read the whole thing, but I also want to give you the channeled message that I got on this. So this to me is saying, like, I feel like I'm very much in my divine masculine right now, because I was already saying I'm feeling very physical. I'm like all about food. I'm all about diet and exercise. I hate the word diet, but eating healthy. You know, I'm all about like balancing my budget, taking care of my taxes. You know, I'm so focused on home. Like I'm root chakra all day, and that involves, you know, the solar and the sacral, the lower trinity chakra. It's very physical, more masculine energy. So I feel like I'm already in this space of balancing this, and you know, maybe it's because I'm in union, or maybe it's because I'm this age and this life. I mean, whatever, there's so many different reasons. Please share with me where you are, right? But I also was thinking that this could be a call to action for some of you, like get out of your airy-fairy world and get here right now, you know, release allegiances, embrace the journey, balance that dualistic nature that you are in, stop competing with it, stop fighting yourself, embrace the change, right? Listen to spirit. I also think this could be a sign of union for some people. You know, in my monthly, there definitely was some messages and hinting at union for quite a few people, and I had already predicted that this year would have a significant amount of union, in particular this summer. So I'm just like, you know, I mean, I think union's happening all the time. When I say that, I think it's just like significant amounts of twins coming into union. So I feel like it just kind of comes in, it's like trickle, 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 and then a burst. And I think this summer is a burst of union. So I do think that this could definitely be hinting at the balancing of the divine feminine and the divine masculine in the twin flame community. Spirit's also telling me, like, whether you want to or not, this energy is coming at you. So if, like I was telling you at the very beginning of that tunnel vision, maybe you're like, you know, doing your third eye chakra stuff, meditating, like channeling, trying to manifest, and you know, you're getting bills that aren't being paid in the mail, you know, like that spirit going, hello, you know, you're going into collections if you don't deal with this right now. Like, this is that, right? So multiple layers of that. And again, I would love for you to share where you're at. I really just want to know, you guys. And you're my community, you know, like, even though I teach yoga and stuff, like, I don't have a lot of twins coming to my yoga classes, or, you know, necessarily super spiritually conscious people. I don't want to say they're not spiritually conscious at all, but I'm just saying, like, we don't talk about what I'm talking to you about right now. So the timer just went off, but before I go, I wanted to hold up these 322s, okay? So we have Truth Transcends Illusion, Dragonfly Spirit. We have Add Some, Spirit is always with you. You are strong and powerful, and miracles are coming. And we have the Divine Masculine, 22. And then also, you know, as that other element, this is the one that I think is being amplified, right? Because this is 11, and I was saying it's like times 2, right? So transformation times 2. Spirit saw that could also mean that your Divine Masculine is having that spiritual transformation. And you know, these both have wings. Look at that, how pretty. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. Again, click that bell, click the bell if you want to be notified for all of the releases for my videos. Again, I'm coming at you much more strong and more focused and more clear. I am so grateful for all of these changes. Go ahead and also ask me any questions or any readings that you would like to see in the future. I want to be able to provide you guys with what you need. And I'm sending you all so much love and light. Thank you. Mwah.